Hey there nation, and welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and we are back in another episode of Cheap Shots. This series of videos focuses on tips, tricks, and techniques that you can use in order to save money on the miniatures wargaming hobby. And on today's episode, we're talking about using the Veteran Guardsmen Kill Team box set from Games Workshop's Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team, and how you can use this set of miniatures in your campaigns of Necromunda. In this video, we're going to do a couple of things. The first thing we're going to talk about real quick is talk about narratively how this unit actually fits inside the overall narrative of Necromunda. We'll also talk about a starting roster of about 2,000 credits, so that way you can use this gang in your games of Necromunda, as well as give you a gang overview of how best to use this tactically on your tabletop in your actual games. So first of all, like I said before, this whole series of cheap shot videos is dedicated to showing you how to use 40,000 Kill Team box sets in Necromunda, because ideally the best thing you can do as a wargamer is able to use one set of miniatures for multiple gaming systems. With the rise of different miniature agnostic games that are out there now, you could easily use this box set of miniatures for other games besides Games Workshop games. You could use this, for example, in Snarling Badger Studios' brand new game, Majestic 13. You could actually use these guys in kind of like a weird kind of modern day military unit sent to actually deal with alien hostile threats. You could use this in games of Snarling Badger Studios' Space Station Zeros. You could use them in various games of one-page rules, or you could just use them for what they were intended for Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team, as well as Necromunda. So with that being said, let's go and talk about how you could use this box of miniatures in your campaigns. So the first thing we're going to start off with is the narrative behind the Veteran Guardsmen as well. So for a lot of naysayers out there, a lot of people will actually throw complaints and be upset about how different players are using Kill Team box sets in games of Necromunda. And for those people who complain about that kind of stuff, this video is definitely not for you, so I suggest you just stop watching it now. Because this video is designed for people who want to save money on the miniatures wargaming hobby, and if you can get the most use out of a single box set of miniatures, then that's what this whole video is designed to do for you. Now, when it comes to the narrative thing, a lot of people would argue that you can't use Imperial Guardsmen miniatures for games in Necromunda, and of course that is a lot of bull, and the reason why that is the case is because Veteran Guardsmen actually could be used as planetary defense forces. Necromunda, just like any other Imperial planet in the narrative setting of Warhammer 40,000, not only does it contribute to the economy of the Imperium, but it also contributes militarily to the Imperium as well. Necromunda is more than just a manufacturing hub in terms of providing manufactured items for the Imperial military. They also have planetary defense forces for themselves as well. There's actually a couple of cases where you actually talk about famous Imperial Guardsmen regiments from Necromunda called the Necromunda 8th, also known as the Spiders, what they're known for as well. Typically speaking, Necromunda military units are known for wearing gray or brown uniforms with black armor plating, and if you look at these Krieg soldiers, they exactly fit that aesthetic. They have the gray uniforms, they have the black armor plating, so you could just say that these guys are rogue members of the Necromunda 8th, or maybe they're planetary defense forces guys who basically decided to desert, or in this case, what we're going to use these guys for is for an outcast gang in Necromunda as well. So anybody who wants to say that you can't use these guys in games of Necromunda, those guys just simply lack the imagination to actually allow these guys to play. And the reason why is because of the criminal background, the criminal nature of the Necromunda setting. Pretty much anything goes because of all the strange things that can be found in the Underhive, and this is just probably one of the more tame options that are available for you as a player. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about exactly how you can use this gang in your games of Necromunda by providing you a 2,000 point starting roster, and we're going to talk about that roster next. Alright, so let's go and talk about exactly what your roster will look like for your games of Necromunda. So like I said before, we're going to put this at 2,000 points, and the reason why is so that way you can play in the Aranthean succession if you want to as well. You of course make this a much smaller list with 1,000 points, but you're just going to have to trade some things around in order to make that happen. So your Veteran Guardsman Kill Team is actually going to be a House Escher Outcast gang, is what you're actually going to equip these guys with. Even though they're an Outcast gang though, they're actually quite powerful because they have access to amazing Escher weaponry, and at the same time the way I've kitted these guys out, narratively speaking, it fits inside the narrative of what a unit like this from House Escher would actually accomplish. So let's go and talk about exactly what that looks like. So first of all, your Veteran Sergeant is going to be your Outcast leader. That's going to be represented by this guy here with the power sword and the pistol. Now, if you'll notice, there's no pistol or sword in this list, and that's okay though, because in the box set you can actually choose from different weapon loadouts. So you have like access to like flamers and grenade launchers and plasma guns in this box set. So what you're going to do is you're going to equip this guy with a flamer, and what you're going to call it is a Nightshade Chemthrower. Now what you guys are going to do is you're going to give this guy, oh sorry, the squat stats here are not supposed to be there, so let me go and just get rid of that real fast. I do apologize for that. So once again, what you're going to equip this guy with is an armored undersuit for 25 credits, as well as a hazard suit for 10. And the reason why you want that is because it'll give you a 5-up armor save, which is about the same as mesh armor. But the really reason why you want the armored undersuit is because of the hazard suit. The hazard suit will actually give you buffs to your toughness for chemical and toxin attacks. And the reason why is because this list is going to have a lot, and I mean a lot, of toxin as well as a lot of gas attacks in this unit. So this guy's got a G'day Shade Chemthor, another beautiful template weapon that uses gas attacks as well. You give this guy a last pistol for a backup weapon, as well as a respirator, so that way he has a +4 to his toughness checks for chemical waste weapons, as well as Chem Synth, so that way he takes an intelligence check and actually makes his chemical weapons even deadlier. Now you're going to give this guy the Gunslinger archetype is what you're going to give him, and you're going to give him hip shooting as his primary skill. That way he can actually use the gun and run action. It's a double action where he could actually move twice and then open fire. Now, when you use hip shooting, you do suffer to score to your ballista skill when you do that, but because it's a Nightshade Chemthor, it uses template anyways, it's not going to really matter because ballista skills aren't used for that. So, haha, kudos there. After that, you could have your guys' Gunner Veterans, going to be one of your guys' Outcast Champions. It's going to cost you 220 credits. He's going to have an armored undersuit as well as a hazard suit as well for that 5-up armor save, as well as that +2 to his toughness with the hazard suit for toxic weapons, as well as immune from blaze as well. He's also got a respirator to make that even tougher, and he's also going to have a plasma gun as well, and a last pistol for a backup weapon. Like I said, you can have a plasma gun in this box that you can equip one of these guys with, so that can help you out there. And this guy, once again, is going to have the Gunslinger archetype to give him fast shots. That way he can fire twice with that plasma gun per turn and just totally destroy people as well. And then you're going to use one of your Trooper Veterans. You're going to equip this guy with it as an Outcast Champion. It's going to cost you 245 credits. Once again, this guy's got an armor undersuit as well as a hazard suit for that 5-up armor save and that additional toughness check for gas and toxin weapons. You give this person a grenade launcher with frag and crack grenades for 65 credits, as well as choke gas grenades for 45, so that way they can launch those gas attacks at their opponents. They have last pistol for 10, so that way they have a backup weapon, as well as a respirator, so that we have additional bonuses to toxin as well as gas attacks. They have a Chem Synth as well, so that way they can take an intelligence check to make their choke gas grenades even more effective. And they give this guy the Mastermind archetype as well as Overwatch for his skill, so that way he can interrupt enemy activations. Because there's nothing funnier than watching your enemy get his activation interrupted by a grenade launcher. It's like one of the most satisfying things ever. Now, continuing on. So next up, of course, we have one of your Sniper Veterans. So you can make one of these guys into a sniper if you want to, but this guy's going to be one of your Outcast Hive Scums, going to cost you 200 credits, and we're actually going to do this for a couple of them. Your Sniper Veteran, your Confidant Veteran, as well as your Demolitions Veteran are all going to cost 200 credits apiece. They're all equipped exactly the same. All three will have the exact same loadout. Those loadouts are Armor Undersuits for 25, as well as Hazard Suits for 10 for that 5-up armor save, as well as bonus for gas and toxic weapons. They're going to have a Last Gun for 5 credits, because they'll be taking that from the House Escher list for 5 credits apiece, with a Hotshot Power Pack for 20 and a Telescopic Sight for 25. That way they could put that long-range shooting, their short-range accuracy bonus to long-range shot at Strength 4 with -1 AP. All that for, 25, 45, 50 credits. That is amazing. Give this guy a last pistol for a backup weapon, as well as choke gas grenades, because they'll be lobbing those toxic traits around. Narratively, that looks good because these guys are all wearing gas masks. He's also got a respirator for that bonus with the combined with his hazard suit to protect him from his in case the weapon bounces back. And you also have Chem Synth as well, so that way if he takes an intelligence check, his gas attacks become even deadlier. So like I said before, 3 members of your kill team will be equipped exactly the same. Your Sniper, your Confidant, as well as your Demolitions guy. All 3 will cost 200 credits apiece. Now, continuing on with the list. So next are our Zealot Veteran, which I believe is this guy over here with the book opener over there. That guy's going to be another Outcast Champion. He's going to cost 175 credits. And what you equip this guy with instead is a Armored Undersuit for 25, a Hazard Suit for 10, a Last Pistol, as well as a Chainsword. Now, you do have an option to give him a Power Sword later on if you want to, but you also have a Chainsword arm as well. So you're going to swap out those arms from one of those over there as well to give him close combat attacks. And once again, he has Choke Cast Grenades as well as a Respirator, as well as Chem Synth. The Respirator, and combined with the Hazard Suit, will give him 4 up to their toughness tests, and the Chem Synth will give him bonuses on their Choke Gas Grenades. And the Last Pistol and the Chainsword for obvious close combat oriented attacks. Now, your Bruiser Veteran, which I believe is represented by this guy over here with the club, the Truncheon. That's going to be another one of your Outcast Hive Scums. It costs 185 credits. This guy's got an Armor Undersuit as well as a Hazard Suit for that 5-up armor save, as well as +2 to toughness checks for gas attacks. When combined with the Respirators, it's going to make it 4. This guy's got a Last Pistol for a backup weapon for shooting attacks, as well as a Tool-Handed Hammer, which is represented by this little club-looking thing, as well as Choke Gas Grenades as well, and Kim Synth, so that way they get bonuses to their gas attacks against your opponents. So like I said before, high toughness enemies are going to be crumbling under all these gas attacks you'll be throwing at your opponents' way. And then, of course, you have one of your guys, Hardened Veteran, who will be one of your guys' Outcast Scum as well for 180 credits. This guy will have Armor Undersuit as well as a Hazard Suit. He's going to have a Last Pistol with a Stiletto Sword, which is going to be represented by this little power sword here for close combat attacks. They also have Choke Gas Grenades as well as a Respirator for that additional toughness to their gas and toxic attacks, as well as Kim Synth to make their Choke Gas Grenades and Stiletto Sword just a little bit deadlier in close combat. And then lastly, you do have a Medic Veteran, which I believe is represented by this guy over here. You could use this guy as your road dog if you want to for 50 credits, or you could just have this guy come in later as an additional fighter later on. Just kind of depends on how you want to do that as well. And that's going to pretty much make up your roster for this one. Now for your gang overview on this one, you're going to divide up your gang into 2 fire teams. You have an Assault Fire team, which consists of your Veteran Sergeant, as well as your Zealot Veteran, your Bruiser Veteran, and your Hardened Veteran. And then you have a Support Fire team, which consists of your Gunner Veteran, your Trooper Veteran, your Sniper Veteran, your Confidant Veteran, as well as your Demolitions Veteran. And what we're going to do now, we're going to talk about the gang overview real quick and talk about exactly how you will be using this gang on the tabletop for your games of Necromunda. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about your Veteran Guardsmen, how you would use them on your tabletop of games of Necromunda. So you can see we have our 2 fire teams. We have our Assault Fire team, which consists of your Sergeant, which is represented there. ZV is your Zealot Veteran, your BV is your Bruiser Veteran, and then HV is your Hardened Veteran. And then we have a Support Fire team as well. The GV stands for your Gunner Veteran, SV stands for Sniper Veteran, TV stands for Trooper Veteran, CV stands for Confident Veteran, and then DV of course stands for your Demolitions Veteran. Now your Support Fire team is consisting of primarily of plasma guns as well as grenade launchers as well as hotshot las guns. So this one is going to have a lot of firepower. What they're going to do is they're going to lay down suppressive fire directly upon one of your enemy as well. And the reason why that is the case because with those plasma gun firing twice, as well as grenade launcher, as well as hotshot las guns also opening up on your opponents, that's going to be causing all kinds of problems as you lay suppressive fire towards your enemy. Now while that's happening, of course, you're going to take your Support Fire team and move them up slowly directly towards your enemy as you're doing so until you get within hand grenade throwing distance. And once you of course get within hand grenade throwing distance, what you're going to do is you're going to start lobbing your guys' choke gas grenades directly towards your enemy. You're going to down your Kim Synth so that way you get some bonuses to your gas attacks and cause all kinds of problems for your enemy. Now while that's happening, your Assault Fire team also maneuvers directly to an exposed flank, an extreme flank in some situations, so that way they can come in and flank your opponent. Let me see if I can turn this real fast. Is it going to let me turn it? No, I don't think it is. Well anyways, here we go. So they're going to flank your opponent like this directly to the right hand side. And what's going to happen is your Sergeant's going to take point actually. He's going to use his larger group activations to take point, and at the same time your Zealot, your Bruiser, as well as your Hardened Veterans, those guys are going to start moving forward towards your enemy. They're going to close a distance so that way they can lob their choke gas grenades directly towards your opponent and actually start smoking these guys out with toxic gas and start killing them that way. Now just like your Support Fire team, you will also down your Kim Synths as well so that way you get bonuses to your choke gas grenades. Same thing with your Sergeant. He's going to do exactly the same thing by rushing up forward and setting guys ablaze with the template attacks from the Nightshade Kim Thrower and basically killing guys left and right. Now eventually your enemy will be hopefully killed by this point as time goes on, and then from there of course your Assault Fire team can then swoop in with your Support Fire team, catch your enemy in a crossfire and kill him that way. Like I said, this gang is designed with House Escher in mind because they're a House Escher outcast gang. So they're going to be using a lot of toxin weapons, a lot of gas weapons. They're going to have the Kim Synth in order to balance that out. At the same time, you also have really good defense against gas as well as toxin weapons as well. Your entire gang has hazard suits, so they're going to be immune to blaze as well as radiophage. And they're also going to have respirators as well, giving them a 4+ bonus to their toughness against gas attacks as well as toxin attacks. So they're going to be perfectly fine. So if anything should happen, like your friendly fire takes place or a grenade bounces back on you, whatever the case may be, you're going to be perfectly fine. Your opponent not so much, and you're going to be able to destroy them pretty quickly using these toxin and gas traits. And let's not forget, you also got some pretty good close weapons as well with hotshot las guns as well as plasma and grenade launchers. You also have really good close combat weapons as well, so you're going to be able to dominate on the enemy and just absolutely destroy them. And this is exactly how you use this gang on the tabletop in your games of Necromunda. Alright, so there you guys have it. That's how you could use your box set of Veteran Guardsmen from your games of Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team and using this exact same box of miniatures in your games of Necromunda as well. The way we have this gang listed out and kitted out as well, it's going to dominate on the battlefield. And narratively, it also works too because of all the gas masks these guys are wearing. You have a lot of gas attacks as well as toxin attacks. You're also House Escher outcast. You got really cheap access to las guns and hotshot las guns as well. And it's going to totally clean house and take names on the tabletop as well. And we also provide you with some narrative background as well to justify why you could use these guys in your games in Necromunda. So that's going to do it for those of you guys. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is invaluable to us as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blogger.com for all the latest greatest hobby news related to this channel. That's going to do it for this week, guys. We'll catch you guys next one. Peace out and stay classy.